guys, here we are. We're cruising off down the beach. This is a request, another cook up. And this is a request to cook camp oven bread. It was step by step down the beach. So a couple of fish and some mussels to go with it, I think. Now, we'll see you down there, Trev. So I'm sorry we can't go fishing, mate. We've just had another 3 days of rain. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Wednesday, 12th of July in the year of our Lord 2023. And the conditions are not good for fishing. The rivers are full of mud again down here. We had a good spell of fine weather there, but that last 3 days we had was quite heavy. But anyhow, that's the way it goes. So just bear with us, guys. It will come right eventually. Right, we'll see you down the beach, Trevs. Hey, Trevs, here we are, down at the beach. There's the sea out there. I know it doesn't look much on that video, but that is actually very, very muddy. Calming down though, that's the good thing about it. We've got a good nor'wester blowing today. And Ringy's chair, which is still there, now only has 3 legs, so we can't sit on that anymore. We're down here to cook up some camp oven bread. I had a request to do it step by step down at the beach, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to cook up some camp oven bread down here, so that's what we're up to here today. And it will be done over the fire. Right, so what we want to do is crank up a fire. I think we might move camp from where we are here. Just go and park up over there, I think. Be a bit more sheltered too, I think. Right. Right, Trevs. That fire is going from that to this. Right, Trevs, now that's going. We'll get the camp oven bread, start making that. This is the step-by-step instructions. Get your fire going, then start your camp oven bread, okay? Because while the fire's burning, it's making coals, and we've got to take the coals out of there, put them up beside the fire, and put the grate over there, put the camp oven on top, and then heap coals around the base of it and over the lid of the camp oven. So we need quite a few coals, and also we're going to use this fire to keep replenishing the coals, but also to cook the fish and some mussels on there. Praise Jesus, quite simple. Righto, Trevs, here we are. Now, as I was just saying, get your fire going first, keep it full of firewood. We need to build up those coals so we can put the camp oven here on the coals for it to heat up. Now, I left the bowl at home, so I can't preheat the camp oven, but we've got another way to do that in case of these emergency situations. You do what suits you, what's best for you anyway, but I always like to light the fire first, get the coals going, and then do the camp oven bread, because if you do the camp oven bread first, then you've got to sit and wait for the coals. So always get the fire going first. Now, this is value milk. It's 1 litre. It was $2.48 at Pack and Save, and she's quite full, as you can see. Yeah, it's right up the neck where it should be. So it's a bit cheaper than buying that other stuff. I've never bought it before. Praise Jesus. Now, so you're going to need 2 cups of milk. I call this the dancing lady cup, that's what I always use. You're going to need 8 cups of flour, or 8 dancing ladies of flour, okay? That's self-raising, as you can see, and that holds exactly 8 cups, and we'll put all that in there. We're going to have to mix up in the camp oven because I didn't bring down a bowl. I knew I'd forget something. Now, you want a teaspoon of salt. Here's your teaspoon. And it's my brew up, which I'll have once the bread's on, because it takes 1.5 hours to cook this. You can do half the size recipe, and it only takes about 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I do 8 cups instead of 4, because that way it fills this camp oven right up, and we're away laughing, Trevs. And I bought a pot just to melt the butter on. Okay. So that's what happens here. That fire's looking alright. 12th of July in the year of our Lord 2023, guys. And the time is exactly 11:45 hours. In other words, quarter to 12 for those who don't know. Gosh, that sun's bright, eh? Right, now I've never actually mixed it up in the camp oven, but emergency provisions will do us good. Now this bean paper can burn in the fire, eh? Praise Jesus. Right, so we've got this here. It's 8 cups of flour. And someone else requested a camp oven bread and a cook up there in the beach, which is pretty much what we're going to have. We've got a fish here, we've got some skewers, and our bag of mussels. I can't remember where I put them. Oh my goodness. Now, you just don't lose a bag of mussels, do you, mate? There's the fish. Oh, there's the mussels. What a cracker. Righto, let's get this show on the road, Trevs. 8 cups of flour. You want a teaspoon of salt. I bought iodised instead of our famous Himalayan. It's a bit easier to pour out, mate. That's it. And just a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon of salt. That's around about a teaspoon, I think. It might be just over, actually. About that much, Trevs. Good old sprinkling over there. Now, need to put our butter on. Butter on the fire to melt down so we can mix it up with the flour. Once again, guys, always be careful of flicking sand around. I've got jandals on, so I'm just going to take them off for that very reason. There you go, Trevs, that's the butter getting melted up there. Going pretty good. Righto, one secret you need to know about butter on the fire, it melts very quickly, okay? Don't let it burn. It'll be all black and burnty and yucky yuckies. There we go. Now the other thing you can use, and I didn't bring any, is sugar. You can add whatever you like to it, is sugar or honey. I prefer to use honey. We do use honey when we make it at home a lot. I keep forgetting to bring honey down here. It's just a thought for you fellas. Here's our stirrer. Good at stirring things, this is, mate. Stirring up a hornet's nest and all that. Yes, it's interesting doing this in the camp oven, mate. I've never done it in the camp oven before, except cook the bread. I've always stirred it up in a bowl. But never mind. Worse things in life have happened than leaving a bowl at home, eh? Once you give that a bit of a stir, quite windy down here. We've got a good nor'wester blowing. The sea's quite muddy, which is a bit of a shame. Oh, that's 1 cup. Oh, and the other thing here needs a cup of water. I forgot about that. Beautiful, mate. Groves hairs on that chest, eh? Just going to stir that fire up, mate. Still got enough there for a couple of brew ups. What we need now is our bucket of our bit of water. Here we go. Look at that. Yeah, it's 2 milks and 1 water. It baffles me why we'd even put water in there. I'm going to try it with 3 milks one day. So I better give this a bit of a stirring. There, stir. Was me a rangy, she's good at stirring things up. Absolutely beautiful lady, that one, mate. I think we can go with our water now. Here we go. Now, what I didn't bring was some spare flour. Yeah, this could get interesting, mate. That's all good. This only flour to put down on the Use bandicoot some out of here. We've still got some, eh? Just that we need some for the breadboard, eh? Once this is all mixed up pretty good, should be just slightly tacky, eh? Generally I find I have to put in a little bit more water, just a whisker, you know, just like a smearing really. I've had this camp oven for a good many years, done a few miles. I'd really like to get one with the legs on. That way you don't need to have a trivet or, you know, a base for it to sit on over the coals. That fire's going really good, eh? But this is what you do. It's 8 cups of flour, 2 cups of milk, 1 cup of water, 1 teaspoon of salt, and about 2 or 3 ounces of butter, I suppose, something like that, 4 ounces of butter. And you can add anything you like, you know, you can put raisins or whatever you like in here. We use honey. We used to use sugar, but we've decided that honey's the better flavour to go with. Well, we bought 2 jars of Kanuka honey. $15 a kilo, mate. I thought that was pretty good. That's here in Gisborne. And they're glass containers too. Praise Jesus. I've never done it in the camp oven like this, but I'll tell you what, if this is good, well, we don't need to bring a bowl in future now, do we? So it'll be a genuine camp oven bread, my old mates, eh? Glory to our God, eh? Very important to get that campfire going first, mate, to get those coals, because they don't come immediately. You know, you've got to burn the wood down, and that's how the coals form. And towards the last, probably last 20 minutes, I suppose, half hour, 20 minutes, I'll put the fish on and the mussels, and I forgot to bring the tin foil. Oh, botherations. We've got some skewers here. These are prawn skewers with garlic, mate. There you go. And there's 6 of them in there for $8.70. So Mum will love those. See, the elections are not far away. I don't know about you takers, how old you are or anything like that, but I'm 63, I'm 64 this year. And my retirement's due next year in December 2 next year. So I will not be voting National because they're going to up the retirement age, eh? That's the reason I will not vote National. I'm not too sure about that guy anyway. Bring this over. Not much flour there, but we got a bit. Get that onto there. That's the one. Just quite a bit tacky there. Just reading that side there's a bit tacky, eh? Pretty much it these days, guys. You know, we can't do anything about the weather. It's just the way it is, eh? Well, this is coming up pretty good. You just give it a bit of a pat and that sort of thing. I can see a bit of hard butter there, but that's alright. Yeah, she's coming up pretty good, eh? Now, what I want to do here, see, this is a bit full of stuff. I've got my, what I bought the other day. Just go in there, take it off, eh? Right, that can sit there for a minute. Now, go into the fire. Put that through there, we've got a few coals on there. Right. Just warm up the camp oven now, guys. But whatever you do, guys, never put a camp oven on a wet surface or stainless steel or metal, you know, cast alright, because that's what you use. But like a sink top or anything like that, they'll just crack and go, oh dear. I've got 2 grates here, which is good. Both out of old barbecues, mate. Nice bed of coals there, guys. I'll just bring you in so you can see. There's a good bed of coals there, Trevs. And praise Jesus for good coals. We're going to use those to cook the bread. Praise Jesus. There he is, in the bin. Put the lid on. Just like that. This is how it's done, my old mates. Just like that, eh? Your sprinkles are in the base. That's all around the base of that there. A few more just to go there. Be very careful of sand, you can't avoid it. What you do, you don't open that lid until all the sand's off it, okay? When the 2 is going to be our when the bread's cooked. But remember about the sand, you do not take that lid off until you've cleaned all the sand away. Otherwise you'll end up on your bread. And I'm pretty sure most of us would have tried sand at some stage and decided that it was not very delectable. So all we've got to do now is keep the fire going, so we can keep putting coals over there. They do go out. You know, we've got a bit of a wind here, no doubt some will probably try and blow away. But that's how we do it, Trevs. About 20 to 2 we'll put a skewer or something in there. So old screwdriver, we've got one of those over there. See how cooked she is. Praise Jesus for camp up and bread, eh? Well, I don't know about you, Jacobs, but I think it could be getting close to having a brew up. You know, I put up on Instagram a boil up. It was a minute program, it was a short. And that got 165,000 views, mate. I couldn't believe it. And Mum's one about the mussels she did. She got 37,000, I think it was, something like that. But you never get much fish out here. That's one thing I've learnt in the last 2 to 3 years. You don't get much fish here. You might get the odd carwai, the odd shark. I think the last fish we got here was down the mouth, and that was that bronzy, that small bronzy we got, eh? About yay long. In fact, this year I think we've only thrown the rod out about 3 times, mate, eh? We've gone out fishing 3 times, it's just been so wet. But praise Jesus, it is what it is. It's a bit of remove, this. Right, time for a brew up, Trevs. Like a good cuppa after a hard day's work. So, now, the coffee, we're having this glass today, which cost me $9, I think it was, $9 something. They were 60 odd. Is Jed's number 5. It's quite a strong brew up. They need to do something about the pourer, mate. She's a bit slow on it. I bought my smaller mug today, so there's only 600ml this thing. Otherwise I'll kill the flask. I think it only holds 1.2 litres. Yeah, just like that, eh? Well, that's how you do the camp oven bread. There's not much. I need to get some more coals on that lid. But cheers, guys. You know, gosh, I've never known a season like this one, mate. But you know, the Bible tells us there'll be hot and cold, seed and harvest, winter and summer, until the last day, mate. That's in Genesis 8:22. And that's King James Version. And praise Jesus, eh? It is what it is. Now, God can do what he likes with his own creation, mate. Don't care what the world and the system says, that's their problem. Jed's number 5 coffee, you can get it down Pak'nSave. I can't quite remember how much it is, it'll be about $8 I think. You get a glass container for $6 or $8 something, I can't quite remember, eh? Yeah, we'll have to get some more coals out of there. Might have to put up a bit of a windbreak around that, mate. Move the truck back a bit further, I suppose. Praise Jesus, I need to get some more coals on that camp oven, mate. One or two there. Don't want the timber. The coals are down the bottom. The coals down the bottom, they're doing all right. We don't generally have to change those. It's just the way around the base and on the top. We just got to get that fire going a bit more, eh? Beautiful day, mate. It's just a big cloud here, eh? Right over Poverty Bay. That you just got to keep the coals on the lid and round the base. But as I say, watch that sand, eh? You do not want sand in there. Could make a bigger fire, I suppose, but if they get too big, you've got to have a permit for them. I think it's a metre square or something like that, or customary rights. There's something about fires, you know, guys. You just sort of sit there watching them. Remember the open fires in the houses, eh? Gosh, if I built a house, mate, I'd have a coal range and an open fire, eh? Probably one in the lounge and one in the master room, I think. And if I built a house, it would be a log cabin, mate, 2-bedroom, kitchen, dining, and paku and all that, you know, the toilet. Completely running on solar power, mate. That's how you want it, Trebs. Just like that, eh? That little bird chirping's that fella right there. Little skylark or something like that, eh? Well, I found me a seat there, Trebs. Look at that, eh? Just might have to go and get a bit of a brew up and sit down by the fire here. It's a bit cool out here today, Trebs. Put my neck gaiter on, that keeps my neck warm. I don't need to put it over my face, not right at the moment, it's not that cold. Praise Jesus, eh? Time for a brew up, I reckon. Nothing like a good brew up after a hard day's work, eh, Trebs? Quite a nice day out here, just the wind's a bit cool. Mum and I talking about going to the Kaimanawas and all that sort of stuff in the South Island. The Kaimanawas would be good to see the horses, mate, the wild horses. If there's any left, I'd imagine Doc's probably wiped them all out. It's one crowd I believe needs their wings clipped horribly, eh? They're like a law unto themselves. Now, I lived in the bush for 9 months on my own, mate, and I learnt to live with nature, eh? And everything that was there. That's why we're not surf casting. So here we are, Trebs. Little fire going down there. Well, I couldn't think of a better place to be. I think I usually say that. It's true. Out of town, eh? Gosh, this is the longest I've ever lived in town. It's too rough for fishing, guys, eh? Waters are dirty. We just had another 2.5 days of rain. Praise Jesus, mate. You know, God provides everything, mate. I don't care what anyone says, eh? He provides everything we need to do what we need to do. And the other amazing thing I find is everything we need to know is in the Bible. You know, how to live and have respect for other people and that, eh? It's absolutely amazing what's in there. I don't care how PC the system gets, mate, it will never ever beat the truth in the Bible, eh? Cup holder, Trev. Get them fish and mussels on, I suppose. Frickin' sand, there's a lot on here. Little brush or something, You got to get that sand off. You do not want sand in your bread, or in anything actually for that matter. That fish on shortly, guys. In a few minutes. Looking for the coals as we do. Glory to our Jesus, mate. Once that ignites, put this grate here on and cook the fish. And I can't cook the kebabs down here because I didn't bring a frying pan, mate. I'm not holding them over the fire. So we'll have to fry those up at home. Glory to our God, mate. I've had a few requests about doing things. One was to make brawn. Now, I've never personally made brawn before, but there's a first time for everything, eh? And I think we might look at giving it a go. It's only a pig head or two. Trouble is getting the pig heads. I saw a couple in Kaiti the other day, down here in Gisborne, but I thought they were a little bit expensive, $14 for a pig head. Oh, praise Jesus, let's get some more coals on that oven. Never ever known a season like it, but God does what God wants to do, eh? There's no stopping it, mate. Whatever He's up to, I'll tell you what, it's for everyone's better off. As much as we can't probably see that, we'll all be better off at the end of the day. Well, here we go, Trevs. That is a genuine Trev too, by the way. Pour another fish on the fire. Cook me up some mussels and some bread. That's about what it's coming to these days, my old mates. me old mates, eh? That'll grow hair on your chest if nothing will. I don't even have to test that, mate. She's all cooked and ready to rock and roll, eh? Praise Jesus. There you go, guys. Camp oven bread at its best, eh? Praise Jesus. Wind's coming up, Trebs, eh? Easy a bucket of water, Trebs. You don't get buckets like that anymore, mate. It's a real solid, good quality one. Got your mussels here. Just had a bit of an accident with that camera. It blew over, and the shutter on the front of it, it's got a little shutter. When you close down the camera, it closes to protect the lens. Well, it won't shut anymore. I think it must be sand in there, but I'll have a good look at that when I get home. Oh, there's the mussels, old mates. I was not a happy chappy when that camera fell over. It was over too much, eh? I've got a heavier tripod. Forgive me, Father God, I am a sinner. Alright, guys. Once again, I left the plate home to put these mussels on, but never mind. Praise Jesus for mussels, eh? Oh, Mum and I love these smoked mussels. Grow hairs on the chest. Just got to be very careful of sand, guys. I can bring a plate down like we usually do. Praise Jesus. Don't you just love it? Yeah, the beach has really changed just here, eh, after all these storms and things. I think it's quite a good thing. I think I might eat one of these fellas, eh? What do you reckon? Grows hairs on the chest, Treps. Mate, they are quite majestical. Oh, praise Jesus, eh, Treps? Rocking and rolling. These are so yummy, it's not funny, guys. Once they spring open, that's it. We're rocking and rolling, Treps. It's us, Treps. Right. You can go over there to cool down. This is what you takers want to see. This one's ready. Glory to our God, mate. Righto, guys, that's us. We're cruising. Cruising back home. We'll see you back home, eh? Maybe. This here is why we are not fishing. It's down by the mouth a little bit, but look at the size of those waves. Here we are, Trebs. The mussels. There's the
Fish.
trevally. He's yummy yums. There's my darling, and she's also yummy yums. The campy bread. That's also yummy yums. Grows hairs on the chest. Now Ringy, she loves those mussels, eh? Look at that. She loves those mussels. Yummy yums. They grow hairs on her chest, that's why she likes eating them.
I don't like growing hairs on my chest.
No, you got to shave all the time, eh?